And I've done that. I did, like I said, I did 700 little sketches with my left hand. And it was really, really fun because I didn't have to worry about the quality of the artwork at all, right? And I discovered new shapes in there. And that was, again, it was an experiment. And again, let myself have no expectation of the outcome. So try. Not even try. Yes?
How did you figure out, like, the initial steps you're making your first book? And you had these 6 guys, and you had these couple hundred pages, like, how did you figure out, like, things like marketing, distributing, and, printing, all these things?
So I read a book on publishing, right? I just how to publish, how to self-publish, right? Not difficult. And so anybody can make a book, right? It's easy to make a book. You guys all have the ability to do, varying degrees of, special artwork. There's probably everybody in the room can do special artwork, otherwise you wouldn't be here. So that's the easy part, to be honest. You can make a cool stack of stuff, right? You can get on the internet and you can source it. You can get 3 print quotes from, you get one from Italy, you get one from China, one from Canada, right? You get one from Kansas if you want. But that's easy as well. You can get your print quotes in. You say, oh, it's so many pages, it's this thick, I want full color, blah, blah, blah. If you don't even know the terminology, that's easy. The problem becomes when you bought 5,000 of these things and they show up in your garage, right? You didn't have enough space for them. How do you get rid of them? Okay? So the real secret is sales, marketing, and distribution, okay, on the back end. That's the tough thing. So you have to start somewhere, right? So I made a book. Fortunately, I had enough space for them out in my shop, so they landed. About 5,000 of them. And said, all right, I've got to start selling these. Better figure that out. So got some advance copies flown over, went over to some bookstores and said, hey, would you guys buy these? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, we'd like to have some. I knew I had Art Center. That was easy. Okay, so student store there, that's a decent start. There's a bunch of people there. But I had just the feeling that there was a market for this sort of thing. The market would be growing because of the popularity of entertainment, right, and video games, et cetera. That there's some growing, populace that's interested in this sort of subject matter. More people are working this discipline. And so, art of the books of movies has been around forever. So why not? And eventually I'd probably get my money back. And worst case, even if I had just done all Hansing Eagles and Art Center. But so I hit some comic book stores, et cetera, et cetera. I went to Comic-Con. I hit a couple other trade shows. Real grassroots style, just me. I'm filming stuff on the website. I'm out there picking and packing and sending them out. Which, by the way, meant that I wasn't doing any creative work and no more books happened during that first period. Right? Not very smart. Should have been better to have some help early on and keep making product. So eventually along the way, the first Comic-Con I went to, I met a distributor, right? He agreed to set me up on distribution. So he decided to carry our first book. We had a couple other books at that time within the first year, like 3 books. And then moved on to another distributor, moved on to another distributor. I'm now with Ingram Bush & Services, and Ingram's maybe the largest or second largest distributor of books in the United States and Canada. And so now they do all of our sales and distribution. And I have a marketing person that communicates with them. And I have a bookkeeper and a web person. But you have to build, it's like steps, right? You have to build up some revenue before you can hire the first person. So you got to be really smart, save all your money so you can hire a person, and then drop way back down here, right? And hope that this person's good enough to help you keep moving up, saving more money to hire the next person when you move way back down here. And so it's that sort of stagger and balance of, being very frugal for all the money that comes in because, you know you can really bring to the next book. So you just have to, and it's tough because most distributors, they won't talk to you unless you have, Barnes & Noble wouldn't take a sales meeting unless you have 10 books in print. You can't get 10 books in print without some distribution. What are we going to do here? Well, so they just force you to, prove that you have some longevity and you're going to be around for a while. That's sales, marketing, and distribution. The back end is more important to the success of numbers. Doesn't affect the front end at all. There.
You ever find yourself in a peak, and how do you overcome that? Like, how do you push yourself every day? Like, I gotta wake up and do this.
No, I'm in perpetual rusty mode, actually. Never peak, just rusty mode all the time. Because I have too many other disciplines. And so, like this, I'll be away for 8 days, because right after this I go to New York. So my wife's a feature film editor. I've put in a plug for Melissa, she's got her to see. So my wife's feature film editor, she's done like 16 features now, and she just finished editing Just Right, which the premiere is next week. Queen Latifah, Romantic Common, Queen Latifah, that's actually fun. Good. But fun is all a bunch of NBA stars, NBA storyline. So, what was that? Oh yeah, that trip's gonna take 8 days. So that means I haven't done anything really, super creative for 8 days. Then I'm gonna go back and try to draw something, and it's gonna look, wheels move like an egg, and it's just, and then I'll go back and have more meetings, and then, so it's really like perpetual rust mode. So what I do is rely on design process and the education to get me out of that rusty mode. I know what to do, and I do know it's going to take me a week or two every time I start the project to get back to that level. Unfortunately, I get too distracted, busy, I never seem to remain at that level for a long period of time, no more than like a month. So it's more the opposite, like trying to always shake off the rust. Anybody else? Yeah.
You obviously have a background in traditional sculpting of product design. How much did you emphasize that in regards to a portfolio of new source concept that feature and character design?
All digital. Okay, but we learned a lot by doing it physically first. So I think probably the foundation skills here you learn in industrial design are very similar to art center. So even though we have a bunch of concept designers in entertainment, they do all their classes with the product and trans students for the first year at art center. And it's because they learn to be better draftsmen and they learn how to build things, like being able to do drawings like this comes from actually building models. So you learn how things go together. A lot easier to work with traditional media and a piece of clay than to jump right into digital. And if you don't really have an idea of three-dimensional space and some basic traditional modeling skills, the three-dimensional space will really seem always virtual and never really real. And so I think some traditional sculpting ability, whether it be clay, automotive, creature, sculpture, anything, foam floor environments, is very beneficial to inform your drawing ability. And then later makes the transition to digital sculpting much, much easier. So, and right now, if you want to do creatures and characters, it's the ZBrush, and pretty soon it's going to be ZBrush for industrial design as well. So, the new Mac version is really, really great. No beta testing right now, which is ridiculous. More questions? That's it. Thank you, everybody. One last thing, I brought 2 sketchbooks. So if you want to hang, I'll stay for 20 minutes or so, or whatever your humor allows, and I'll show you some originals.